Good morning, January 7, 2025. And yesterday we got to the upper part of the range, as I had said a couple of days ago. When we fell to break below this range, I said we're likely gonna test the upper side of the range and fill the gap. We eventually did fill the gap, and then we pulled back, and we were not able to trade inside value or briefly inside the range of this session, but inside value of these two sessions in this area of previous consolidation. We couldn't trade inside that, so then we pulled back, and then I thought we might see a gap fill, but we didn't, meaning like buyers are still in control. And now let me turn off this 90-day point of control, volume profile, so it's a little more clear to see. But now I have to fix this. Hold on. So now we see I have this area right here, this profile right here, that is, where price has been accepted within the last few days, couple weeks. And so I want to see a move above the high from yesterday, in order for me to think that we're breaking above this range. So inside this range that we're trading right now, I think we're gonna have some chop. We still have this area of low volume, like some people call it a cave, right? So we might fill that cave with volume, right? That we have the gap, we have this untested point of control right here. So we might have one of these days that we just balance, and we have overlapping balance, and we just fill this area with volume and stay accepting in this range. So for long setups, I want to see a move above the overnight high, and then target yesterday's value area high. And then if I still see buyers, then continue to yesterday's high. And then here is where resistance is. So if I see that we still push above yesterday's high, then my targets are gonna be, I'm gonna reference to this longer time profile and target the 6100 area. We have all this previous bullish imbalances that I've been keeping here because we still haven't tested them. So if we get above the high from yesterday and buyers are still pushing, then I'm going to target the 6100 area. Now, if we start going below, hold on one second. If we start trading below the overnight range, so inside the overnight range, I'm not very interested because it's going to be choppy. But if we start getting below yesterday's value area, right? So trade through the overnight range and then break below value area low, then I'll be interested to short this in to target the overnight low, yesterday's low, the gap fill, and then this point of control of 59.88, and then see if we can continue moving lower through the range here, because but this is for now a support right now. If that move happens after we attempt to take these highs and then we reject, then I would consider this a look above and fail, kind of like the situation that we saw here, that we traveled to the other side of the range. So if that happens, then I will be looking for a move all the way down through to this side of the range, right? So in that case, then I'll be monitoring for continuation and see if we can retest this high volume node down here at 59. What is it? 59.18. But if the first move happens to the downside, I would likely be more inclined to look for bounces because this area still hasn't been tested. We have this gap. So just to summarize, if we first go higher and then fail, then I think the move down could be a little stronger. If we first go lower, I think we could catch a bounce and then keep moving higher. Okay, and we have news at 10 a.m. so could have a choppy beginning of the session. So I'm gonna probably be waiting a little bit at the open, unless I see that this, you can see that we just had a move here. We're leaving single prints. If we leave the single prints and then I see that buyers are pushing hard at the open, then I might just take that long into this 60.52 area. So I'm gonna be watching order flow and see how the day develops. See if I can identify quickly if it's a trending day or if it's a rotational day. If it's rotational, you fade the edges, right? You wait for fail breakouts and then fade back to the point of control. You can see that the overnight session was rotational, right? You see this very nice profile. We still have a little bit of a bullish imbalance where Nasdaq looks like it wants to test higher. And for NQ is the same thing, right? Looking for value area high, which is at 21,837 or so. And then if we see still buyers, then target the point of control at 865 and yesterday's high at 898-ish. And then if we get below it, I want to see a push down below this area, below the value area low, and a push down to fill this gap. All right, crude oil. So remember I said yesterday that this was resistance. We got very close to it, and then I said if we start pulling back, look for the 5-day point of control. We did get there, and then we tested all the way back to that weekly pivot area, which is also where the start of that low volume area is. So crude is likely gonna start to balance between 72 and have this area support, right? The 72, the one that I marked here in green, 72.20 to 72.60. That's where current support is. The blue profile is a 365-day profile. So I had it there. I turned it on because I saw that we broke out of the range of the gray area, which is the 20-day point of control. So I needed to look at the volume in the past just to see where we could be heading. And I had seen this low volume area, so that's why I marked it, and it looks like it's still acting as resistance. So I think we're just gonna balance around here for a little bit. If you see that we break 72.20 to 72, then 71.80 is the target, the first target, and then below that there's a little bit of support here, 70.80, and then below that we're gonna be back to the previous range, and 70.20 is that high volume node. So just gotta use those low volume nodes as areas as support, and then target the high volume nodes for for easy, not easy, but like the main targets, right? Right. I never want to say easy because nothing is easy about trading, right? Gold is starting. It's been moving nicely lately, and you know it's trading this range, which you know right now. So it's at the top of this range, and this purple one that we have is the that's a 90-day range. So if I'm trying to see here, if we hold this area 2664, which it used to be the 20-day point of control, if we hold this, then we could see the 2700s area. Below that, then the target is back here at 2644. So it's 20 point, you know, if you see that we accept below 2664, I think that's a good, nice risk reward trade with a stop up here, target 2644. So I'm gonna set an alert here for if we get below this area. 2664. See if I can catch that move down. All right, and remember today we have JOLTS at 10 a.m. and ISM services PMI at 10 a.m. also. And then the 10-year auction. So the 10-year auction is pretty significant. So right before 1 p.m. we're gonna start seeing some hedging flows and probably get a little choppy until after the auction, and then we're gonna get a move after 1 p.m. All right, good luck.